Thanks to everybody that's here today. Really appreciate y'all coming out. It's nice seeing a lot of familiar faces and on this day. Look, I guess some people would say this is bittersweet. It's the end of a college coaching career for me, but not end of doing something because I got a lot of energy left. So I don't know what that looks like for me, but I know I won't be a college basketball coach. Being here at Georgia Tech has been a phenomenal experience. What's really interesting is 6 years ago, almost to the day, close to it, I became the coach at Georgia Tech on a flight coming here from Tampa, Florida, from the Final Four. And the Final Four is back in Tampa, Florida this year. So has come full circle. But it's been a great experience here. Georgia Tech is a phenomenal place, and I appreciate so much the support that women's basketball was given from the administration that hired me here to the administration that is here now. JBAT, thank you so much for taking a job and embracing women's basketball. Really appreciate that. And Jolene Akins, who's been with me for 6 years, really appreciate all your support and everything that you did for us. So and President Cabrera, look, I'm not sure there's been a more supportive president that I've ever worked with in a university setting than Angel Cabrera. And I thank him very, very much, and his wife, Beth. But as we've navigated through the last 6 years, y'all realize how much change has happened in the last 6 years. When I took this job in 2019, it was pretty much normal college athletics, as it goes. And in a year's time, COVID hit. And then we were pretty much saddled with that for about 2 years, which was really hard to navigate, but we did. And then not only that happened, but in the middle of that came the transfer portal and NIL. So it was really some difficult times in the last 6 years, but we navigated it, and we did it through tremendous people working. And I've been blessed with great staff, and most of them are right here today. And I can't thank them enough for everything they've done in the past 6 years, 3 years, however long they've been here. Ashley Villarreal has been here all 6 years. Rachel's not here. Our trainer's been with us all 6 years. Really appreciate that. Then I have some 3 years on here. So thank y'all very much for everything you've done and all your support. And I've coached tremendous players. Y'all, these athletes, they come here, they have to study, they have a rigorous academic schedule, and they do so good. I'm so proud of them and what they've done in that area. This team this past year was incredibly fun to coach. They worked hard, and we accomplished something that this program's never done before. I'm so proud of that, and it feels really, really good to know that we took it to that level. And I know that there's great things in the future for this program because we proved that we can do that here at Georgia Tech. So I am able to walk away from this program and from college athletics feeling very proud about what we've accomplished here at Georgia Tech. Super proud, really proud of the athletes and proud of everyone that had a part in what we did here. So it's a happy day for me. It's maybe a little bit of a sad day. It's kind of a mixture, but I feel so grateful that I had the opportunity here.
Questions? Chad?
Why now? Why did you feel the timing was right to do it now?
I'm old, Chad. God, man, I'm getting up there. At some point, you got to hang it up. Yeah, age is a number, absolutely, because I don't feel like I'm old. I feel like I've got a lot left in the tank. But, the atmosphere today in college athletics, it's not for me, and it's changing so much. I've been blessed to have come through it and had a career that wasn't so difficult with how the NCAA is trying to run things now. So I'm just blessed. I don't have... it's just time. It's time. It's a new era. It's time for a new voice. There's a lot to learn and navigate in this new era, and I'm just not ready to do that.
First of all, congratulations on your career, and I appreciate all you've done for all the media here. On the same sort of subject, is the current turmoil in college basketball with the portal, NIL, and all that other stuff that's going on. Did that play a role in your thoughts on leading to retirement?
Not really, because actually, I mean, there comes a point in time when it's time to step away. You've been in it for a long time. I've been coaching over 30, close to 40 years. So at some point, it's just time. Does the atmosphere, is it pleasant in my eyes? No, it's not. But I can't say it's the absolute thing that makes me walk away. I mean, I was trying to navigate it. You're trying to learn it and all that kind of stuff. But do I like it? No. And it just feels like the right time. We ended it on a really fantastic season. Fantastic seasons. And that feels good. And to be able to walk away on my terms feels really good. And that's what I'm doing.
Was this more of a recent decision, or was this something maybe you've been contemplating for a little bit now?
I can say contemplating, because it's just I can say contemplating, but I think that, it just happened that it just felt right now.
We've heard coaches say that the current climate around NIL and transfer portal is not for them, and I hear that from you as well. What changes would you suggest, or what's something you would like to see in this next era to kind of impact things?
Look, we don't have enough time to talk about that. And I don't want to use this platform to talk about that. It's not my space. It's not my lane right now. Maybe later on it will be. Who knows? But there's a lot of things I think that need to get fixed. But it's not for me to talk about right now. But I appreciate the question.
Coach, what are you going to miss the most?
The kids, the players. And I think probably every coach in the country, if you ask them that question, it would be that, because their energy and their everything that they bring to the table. They're funny, they're interesting, all those things. There's so many things about them. And then the competition. I've always been a very competitive person, so the players and the competition, the camaraderie of an excellent staff, you can't beat it. I mean, that's just a fun combination.
How did your current staff and players handle the news?
Well, that's the hardest thing about doing what I'm doing, is because you have a group of people who really depend on you, and that's absolutely one of the hardest parts about this. And because now they are in a place where they've been very loyal and worked hard, and now they've got to find jobs, and it's very difficult. And I'll do whatever I can to help each one of them find their way and find a place. But they're excellent. They're going to find some place. They won't be out there long by themselves.
Do you want to have any input on what's next at Georgia Tech, or do you just kind of letting Jay bat?
Yeah, that's a smart man right there. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he wants. And no, I have no input. I have no idea who the next coach will be. But I will tell you this: I'll be incredibly supportive. And if that person wants any to talk to me, pick my brain about anything, I'll help them in any way I can. I will be a huge Georgia Tech women's basketball fan, Georgia Tech athletics fan, period. But no, I have no idea what's coming.
Going back to the players and the difficult decisions they have to make now, have you talked to any of them and said, hey, maybe you should wait to see who the new coach is going to be, that type of thing?
Absolutely, yeah, and I hope they do. I hope that's exactly what they do.
Coach, you talked about contemplating it for a while. You had just signed that contract extension in February. Obviously, this is a very difficult decision for you. That indicates that you were kind of going back and forth. How difficult of a decision was it, and when did you feel like, okay, this genuinely is time?
Yeah, I think the season winds down. You have some time to really kind of absorb it and see where you are and where you stand and what it feels like, and talk to people that you value their opinions and things like that. And so this was the right time. I'm extremely grateful for that contract extension, and it meant a lot to me. And it definitely shows in the world of recruiting that that what we have going on here is a good thing. But at the end of the day, I know Jay Batt and I know Jolene want what's best for me and how I feel, and then they want what's best for the program. So to let them know in time so they can go and find the next person to lead this program was very important to me. I didn't want to drag this on. I didn't want to, come up at the end of April and all of a sudden, and then that's not good. So I knew if I was going to do it, I needed to do it, and it felt like the time was right.
I think you just said you don't know what's next. You have to have some idea of what you're going to do now that you're not coaching.
Oh, I really don't. I really don't, Chad. Look, it felt so good waking up this morning, and I was just like, I didn't have a phone call to make. I didn't have anybody tell, it was, I really don't. It's just, you really have to just kind of decompress a little bit. I mean, it is a strong, fast, 365-day sprint. With every day something's going on. Every day something's happening, and it's so no, I'm just going to kind of decompress and enjoy my time, and but again, always be ready to help in any way I can, and then just see what comes my way. And if something comes my way, I'll contemplate it and see. But I'm not out looking for anything.
Time for a couple more. We'll start in the back here.
Do you have a favorite memory on the court from Georgia Tech and also off the court?
Oh gosh, now you should have asked me that about an hour ago, so I could have thought about it. There's a lot of there's a lot of great memories here. There's no doubt. I can tell you one from this year. So we went to Hawaii. What a great trip, Hawaii, right, Inez? That was one heck of a trip. And it was just so fun getting that team ready and to play South Dakota State. And y'all remember my staff said that was just getting them ready for that game, because that was a big game. South Dakota State was a really strong mid-major team that if you beat them, it definitely looks good on your resume. And boy, we won that game. The excitement about that game. Okay, now we're going to go play Oregon. And it was just, getting them ready for Oregon, because the reputation of Oregon, and we just kicked them, man. It was so much fun. The feeling after that game was so good, and like all of our staff, we were looking around going, oh, we might be pretty good. I think we might be pretty good. And that was really, really cool. And then when we went to North Carolina and played them at North Carolina, you just don't go there and win. That's a hard one. And we played so well, and we won that game. And then we looked at each other, the staff, and we were like, hey, y'all, we're like legit. We're really good. So there were some great moments during this season that I can look back on and just feel really, really good about, and I know we all can.
There's still some girls that are left on the roster.
Yeah.
What's going on with them now? Who's supervising them, and what lies ahead for them?
Yeah. Well, the staff is still here, and Lysandra Barrett has been elevated to interim head coach. And so she is in charge of running the program right now, and everybody else is still doing what they've done and then waiting to see, the next coach that gets brought in. But like players like Inez Neguero, who is here, and Inez is a phenomenal teammate, such a hardworking kid, and I think they're all just waiting to see what comes, who is hired and what that feels like, and what how that coach embraces them,